If you have a website and an Instagram page for your business, you probably have your website linked in your Instagram bio, right? But the real question is, do you have your Instagram featured on your website? And no, I'm not just talking about adding some social icons. I'm talking about adding your actual content from your Instagram feed onto your WordPress website with Elementor. If you currently don't have this, but you're interested in adding your Instagram feed onto your WordPress website, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Yaz from the Brainstorm Force team, creators of the most popular WordPress theme in the world, Astra. And on our channel, we create WordPress tutorials for beginners and non-coders. So if you want to improve your WordPress skills, make sure you subscribe down below and turn on your notifications. If you guys are ready, let's get started with the video. All right, here we are on the website we're going to be using for this tutorial. As you can see, this is a beautiful website here, and I've chosen this outdoor sports, outdoor adventure kind of theme right here to suit the Instagram account we'll be adding onto this website. And somewhere over here, we'll be adding our Instagram feed straight onto our homepage. And I haven't done anything else to this website. This is a brand new, clean install of WordPress, and all I've done is install the Astra theme along with one of the beautiful starter templates. And starter templates are beautiful, professionally designed websites that you can load in just a few minutes. And this is just one of them right here. And as I've mentioned before, having an Instagram feed on your website can help show off your Instagram content and even drive traffic from your website to your Instagram page. This can help you grow your Instagram following and even expand your existing audience. Now, there are many different plugins for WordPress that can help you add an Instagram feed with Elementor, but the one I'm going to show you in this video is called Ultimate Add-ons for Elementor, or UAE for short. UAE is an add-on for Elementor that comes with a huge range of widgets and extensions to help enhance your website building capabilities with Elementor. With one of the recent updates, UAE now has an Instagram feed widget, and it's pretty awesome. In this video, I'll show you how you can set up and customize this widget to feature your Instagram content on your webpage. Just to note that UAE is a paid plugin, and even though there are free alternatives to add Instagram feed to your website, with UAE, you also get access to a whole lot more with the same add-on. All right, I've just gone ahead and installed UAE ahead of time. It was just like installing any other plugin on WordPress. I downloaded the zip file and uploaded it via the Add Plugin menu in the WordPress dashboard. Then I activated the license as well. Before we can add the Instagram feed onto our website, we'll first need to connect our Instagram account to this website. I'll guide you through these steps step by step. It's pretty easy to do. First, let's navigate to developers.facebook.com. I'll left a link for you in the description below, and this website is Meta for developers. And over here, first you'll have to log into your Instagram account. It will then ask you to verify your account, and here you'll have to add your phone number for them to text you your verification code. Once you receive it, you can enter it and continue, and then you can also confirm your email address here. And lastly, you can choose one of these options here that best suits you. I'm in the marketing team, so I'm just going to go ahead and select that. And there we go, we've activated our Meta developer account. Next, we can go ahead and press Create App over here. And from this huge list here, it asks you to select an app type. We're just going to go ahead and press None down here and press Next. And over here, you'll have to give it a name. So right here, I'm just going to type in BSF IG test, just like that. You can have your app contact email and business account. We'll just leave them as is. We don't have to select a business account right here. And we can press Create App. And once that's done, you'll arrive in this screen. As you can see here, our app has been created. And here's our app ID as well. And the product that we're interested in here is the Instagram basic display. Before we set that up, we're going to go into settings on the left-hand side and go into basic. And here we're going to scroll all the way down and we're going to click add platform at the bottom. And then we're going to click on website and press next. And as you can see, we've got a new website field over here. This is where we're going to enter a site URL. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and type that in and we're going to press save changes. All right, our website URL has been entered. And now we're going to go on the left-hand side over here and press add product right here. And now we're going to go down here, Instagram basic display, and press setup. Here it gives you some information about what the basic display is. We're just going to go down here and press create new app. And we can select our display name once again, press create app. Awesome, that's all good to go. And one more thing we need to do, we're going to go on the left-hand side here, press roles, and roles down here. And you should see your username right here. We're going to scroll down as well, and where it says Instagram testers, we're going to press add Instagram tester. And this is where you have to type in the username of your Instagram account that you want to display on your website. So the one I want to display, it's called YJ Football. This is a football-based Instagram page. Just going to add that right here, and I'm going to press submit. And right now you can see YJ Football, it's pending. So what we'll have to do next is log on to our Instagram account and approve this request right here. So I'm going to open a new tab and head over to Instagram.com and then go to your Instagram profile up here, profile, then click on edit profile at the top. And on the left-hand side, you should see apps and websites. Click on that. And from apps and websites, click on the tester invites tab right here. As you can see, we've got a BSF IG test right here, the one we just created. Of course, we're going to press accept right here and connect it to our Meta developer account. There we go, authorized by you on February 4th right here. It's all good to go. And now we can go ahead and close our Instagram tab and go back into the developer settings. And if we go ahead and refresh our page and scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that it no longer has that pending bracket right here, and our account is good to go. And the last step we have to do is generate our access codes. So to do that, we're going to go back into Instagram Basic Display right here, Basic Display. We're going to use our Instagram app ID right here and our Instagram app secret and put them onto our WordPress website. And we're also going to generate an access code down here, and we're going to enter that on our website as well. So first, we're going to go into our WordPress dashboard, and on the left-hand side, go into Settings. And right at the bottom, you'll see UAE. Click on that, and that will bring us into UAE settings right here. We're going to scroll down the middle column until you find Instagram feed, and we're going to press on Settings. And then we're going to scroll down even further on this page until you see this area right here, Instagram feed, Instagram basic display. So like I showed you, we're going to paste our Instagram app ID, Instagram app secret, and Instagram access token right here. So let's go back into Meta Developer. And first, we're going to copy our Instagram app ID right here. Going to paste it right here, just like that. Then we're going to show our Instagram app secret. It's a really long code right here. And again, copy, paste that here as well. And lastly, we're going to go back and scroll down until you see user token generator. And on the right hand side, you should see a button that says generate token. You can press that right now, and that will bring up a pop-up right here, and you'll have to log into your Instagram account once again. And once you've logged in, this is the last step. Now it's asking us for approval to connect our Instagram account to the app we created on Meta for developers. Let's go ahead and press allow right here. And that's all done. We can press I understand right here. And it just gives you a disclaimer right here to only share the token with developers you trust. That's fine. We're going to press I understand right here. And we're going to copy our code as well. Gives you a handy button right here. Let's copy that, press done, and go back onto our WordPress dashboard. And we're going to paste the Instagram access token right here. And you can go ahead and press refresh access token right here. And you can see your access token has refreshed successfully. Then I'm going to scroll down right here and press save changes. There we go, settings saved successfully. And now we can go into Elementor and add our Instagram feed onto our website and begin customizing it. So let's go ahead into pages right here. I'm going to go into homepage, edit with Elementor. All right, here we are. This is our home page. Now we're editing it with Elementor. And what we're going to do now is make some space to add our Instagram feed widget. And I think what I'll do is just create a really simple way to do it. So I'm going to copy, and I'm actually going to duplicate this section right here. Duplicate. And as you can see, there's two of these right here. I'm going to remove the images on this bottom one and also change the text right here. Let's do that. Just like that. And I'm also going to remove a lot of these images. All right, so now I've created space to add our Instagram feed widget. And on the left-hand side, we're going to scroll down all the way to the bottom right here until you see Ultimate Add-ons. And as I mentioned before, you have all these different widgets with UAE that you can use to customize your Elementor website. The one we're looking for is right at the bottom, Instagram feed. Let's go ahead and drag and drop this right here. And there we go. It's already connected to my Instagram account, and it's brought in some of the images right here. By default, you can see that it has 3 columns right here, which corresponds right here, 3 columns. And currently it's in the grid layout. So now I'm going to take you through all the settings here and show you what possibilities you have when customizing this widget. And right at the top, it says layout type. Before we modify that, we're going to add some more columns just to show you what it can do. You can have 3, 4, between 1 and 8 columns, it says. So you can have 1 column right here, and it's currently quite stretched. It looks quite big. I'm going to change that back to 3. I think that looks pretty good. And 3 is the default number of columns on Instagram, so it kind of looks familiar if we use 3 right here. But if you want to modify that, you have a bunch of different options right here, from 1 to 8. You can also specify if you want these images to be square. So at the moment, you can see this one right here is a different ratio to this one right here, which is a square one. So if I press that right here, square images, you can see it looks a lot neater in my opinion. But if you want to display your whole feed without having to crop any of the images, you can uncheck this right here and leave that as no for square images. So the images right here will have their original sizes displayed. I quite like the square look, so we're going to keep that and press yes. And we're also going to change the image count right here. So at the moment, it's only got 3. So if we move that up, we can get up to 9 right here. So that looks pretty cool, a grid of 9, 3 by 3 grid. And we can also increase it to max of 100 posts. So if I did that right here, it's loading up all the posts. As you can see, It's loading up 100 posts from my Instagram feed all the way to the bottom of this web page. We're not going to do that. Its Instagram feed is there for a reason, and we only want to just show a preview of what the feed looks like to generate some interest and show you what kind of content is on the Instagram account. So I'm going to change that back and change it back to 9. And I think 9 looks pretty good to me. Very neat and tidy. You can also choose the image resolution right here. So currently it's using low resolution, 320 by 320. You can use high resolution, which is the original size. You can even go standard or even use a thumbnail size, which is 150 by 150. I'm just going to leave it default as low resolution right here. And then I'm going to go back into layout type right here. So before we change the layout type, I'm also going to uncheck the square images right here to no. And we're going to change the grid to masonry. And as soon as I've clicked that, you can see the difference right here. It kind of looks more like a Pinterest type of feed right here than Instagram. It's not all lining up the same, and it's keeping the original sizes of each individual post. So that's a really cool, unique way you can display your Instagram feed. I quite like the original Instagram kind of look. So I'm going to go back to grid, and I'm also going to turn on square images right here. Then on the left-hand side, we can go to additional settings. And the first option here is cache timeout. So it says right here that the feed will be cached out for the selected time duration and it will refresh after that. So essentially saying how often your Instagram feed will be refreshed. So it's totally up to you what you choose here. Currently it's set to hour. You can choose a minute, day, or even week. So depending on how often you like to post on your Instagram account, you can choose the one that best suits you. I'm going to keep it on hour for now, the same as the default. And next, under content, you have the option to include your caption on top of the image right here. You can see that all these posts have the caption displayed on top of them. It's totally up to you if you want to display your caption on top. I'm just going to show you what it looks like without them. Just like that, just the picture itself looks quite cool to me. And I think I'll continue without the caption. And next is the lightbox effect. And I think this is a really cool option. So if I enable that, you might notice that nothing really happened to the feed here. But if you click on an image, it will bring up this really cool gallery view of your Instagram feed. So you can flip through your photos right here. So it allows you to create a really cool, engaging way for your visitors to view your Instagram content on your website. I'm going to leave that enabled because it looks quite cool in my opinion. And next, we're going to go into advanced settings again and go back to the next option. And next, we have Instagram profile link. This is referring to this link right here at the bottom of the widget, follow at Instagram account. So you can customize this exactly how you want. So first is the position. You can choose if you want to have it above, right at the top, like that. Whether it's going to overlay on top of the feed, just like this, or at the bottom, below, just like default. It's totally up to you. I'm actually going to try and move it to the top, just like that. You can also change the link title right here. That's the text you see up here, follow at Instagram. I'm just going to change that to the Instagram account name, which is YJ Football. And of course, you'll have to enter the Instagram profile URL. I'm going to go ahead and type that in, Instagram, just like that. And next, it even gives you the option to change the title icon right here. So if I open up the icon library, and over here, you can see some recommended icons you can choose from, or you can go ahead and press over here to see all the icons that are available. So it's totally up to you what you choose. For now, I'm happy with the default Instagram icon right here. You can also choose the icon position, whether it's before the title or after the title. I'm going to go with before title right here. That looks good to me. And before I forget, there's also some link options over here as well. You can choose to open the link in a new window. All right, now that we've customized the layout of this widget, we can go ahead and customize the style and design of it as well. So we're going to go to the top right here and press style. And the first option you have is the layout gaps. So you have the column gaps, row gaps. So as you can see, if I slide this over, you can see that the vertical gaps between the posts have increased. And if I do the same down here, row gaps, I'm going to change it to something huge. And you can see the row gaps have increased as well. So you can customize this and design it however you like. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to reset it back. That looks good to me. And next, we're going to go on to the next tab here, images. So here you can customize what the image does when you hover over it. So currently normal, that's what it's going to look like by default. So you can either change it to grayscale, just like that. And you can also add a border to it. So you have a solid border like that. Of course, you can choose the color down here. You can also choose a double border like this one here. You can choose a dotted line, dashed line, as well as one called the groove. Let's go ahead and change the color right here to primary so we can see that a little bit better. And after that, you can also adjust the width and the border radius as well. So if I adjust the width right here, you can see that the border width is increasing and it's all symmetrical. And if I change it to the solid one, it looks like that. Double one, dotted lines. That's interesting. Dashed lines. I'm going to keep the groove one because that looks quite cool. But I'm going to reduce the border size. We're also going to change the border radius. So you can actually have the border curved as well. Let's go ahead and do that. That looks really cool to me. So what you can do here is you can actually customize these tiles right here to really match the look and feel of your website. As you can see up here, all the images on our website do have a little bit of radius to the corner of the images. So we can try to follow that same design down here as well. I'm just going to remove the groove border and change it to none, just to match it to the rest of our website a little bit. So as you can see, they have a little bit of a radius right here. It kind of looks like the rest of the photos on the website. And over on the left-hand side, we do have a hover tab as well. And as you can see right now, all the images are grayscale, but if I hover over them, the original color appears on top of the images. But alternatively, we can also do the opposite as well. So if I go back to normal right here and turn off the grayscale, we can go into hover right here, and then we can turn it on. So right now, if I go and hover over the images, you can see that the one we're selecting or one we're hovering over is changing into grayscale. So it's really, really cool, and it gives you some options to customize how your Instagram feed looks and how people can interact with it. I like how that looks. And alternatively, if you have a border as well, you can have a border right here. Let's go and I'll show you how it works. So if I have my border right here and we select the color down here, we can also change the border hover color as well. So currently there's no effect applied to it, but we can change the color, let's say to the green right here. So currently it's blue, but if I hover over it, it changes to green. So it's now using two effects. It's changing it from color to grayscale, and it's changing the border from blue to green. So it's a lot of really cool customization options you have with this widget. I'm just going to turn these off, and I'm also going to remove the border as well right here. And next, we're going to go down into profile link, and that's going to modify this link up here. You can choose to align it onto the center, left, or right. And you can choose which one you think looks best for you. I quite like it in the center, so I'm going to leave it there. You can adjust the typography. You can change the font style, the size, the weight, everything to suit your exact needs. And that looks quite big and bold right there. I'm going to change that back into something smaller. And again, you can modify what it looks like by default, and you can also add a hover style as well. You can change the text color, the background color. So currently it's set to default. We're going to change that to, let's say, the green, just to show you what it does, a light blue. Let's go ahead and keep it on white, just like it was before. And the text color also looks pretty good because it matches our website right here, the buttons. We can also change the border radii of the section here. Let me show you. I'll have to change the color so you can see it. So we're going to change it back to gray. And as you can see, we've got a radius right here on that button. We can also add some padding on the button like this to make the button a little bit bigger. But I kind of like how it looked by default, something smaller. Something like that looks good. And you also have the option to adjust the icon spacing. So if you've adjusted the padding and you want to adjust the spacing of the icon, make it look more symmetrical. Again, a lot of different customization options to make this look exactly how you want it to look. I'm just going to remove the color back and change that into white. We can leave that rounded. I think that looks all right. Next, I can show you how it looks with the hover as well. Go into hover, and all I'm going to do is change the text color here, but you can change all the different settings as well. And all I'm going to do is change the text color here, so when we hover over it, it shows you a different color on the text. I'm going to choose the dark gray, so when I hover over the blue text, like this, you can see it changes to gray. So that's how it works, and you can do the same with the background color as well. And that looks good to me. We're going to go down into our last setting over here, which is overlay. And again, this is another feature that helps you customize your Instagram feed to look exactly how you want it to look. So first, we're going to go into background type here, and we're going to add a classic background or a gradient background. Let's go ahead and add a gradient just for fun. You can choose your color here, so we're going to keep it blue, and the second color is red. So as you can see now, there's an overlay applied to all the images on our Instagram feed, and we have selected this gradient color. But if you wanted to go for a classic color, it can look like that as well. Let's go back to the gradient. You can choose a second color here. You can adjust the location for both of them as well, just like that. That looks pretty good. And we're going to move down into type. There's two types of gradients as well, linear, like the one you see right now, or radial as well. I quite like the linear one, so we'll keep it at that. You can also change the angle of the gradient. That looks pretty cool. And next, we have the margin. And with this, you can adjust how much of the image is actually covered by that gradient. We're going to fill it all up, and we're also going to adjust the overlay opacity. And as I adjust the opacity right here, you can kind of get an idea of what the overlay actually does. This lets you add some sort of color or tint to your Instagram feed to give it a customized look that can help match the branding on your website. And it also looks quite unique and doesn't look exactly like the Instagram feed on Instagram itself. I'm going to leave it like that. And you can do the same with the hover as well. So we're going to go here, and then down here, overlay opacity, I'm going to change that into 1. So you can kind of see what that does. So what I've done is now added a background type. So we've added just a layer, any color will do, but we've turned the opacity all the way down. So now the feed will look like this, but when we hover over the image, it will show you the clear image just like this. So it's just a little bit more interactive, a little bit more interesting and unique compared to how it looks on Instagram itself. And if you want, you can do the opposite as well. So you can go into normal, and we're going to turn into a classic grid right here. And we're going to turn the opacity all the way down. And in reverse, we're going to go into hover, and we're going to turn on the gradient. You see here, I'm going to choose blue, and we're going to turn the opacity a little bit further up. Something around 0.5 should do, just like that. And now when you hover over the images on this feed, it goes from looking like a normal post to having that cool gradient tint on it. And lastly, you also have the blending mode option. So for this, I'm going to change it back into a classic color, take off the gradient, and you have so many different blending mode options you can apply. For example, you have the multiply effect right here. I'm going to turn that up a little bit so you can see it. So multiply is making that blue overlay appear as a tint on top of that image. And you have a whole lot more different blend modes you can use. So you have screen, which looks like this. Next you have overlay. Same kind of thing, looks a little bit different. Color dodge. This one looks quite cool, looks a little bit electric. And a whole lot more different effects as well that you can try out yourself. And that's basically it. Let's go ahead and publish this and see what it looks like on our live website. And here we are on our website, on our home page. Let's scroll down right here. And here we have our Instagram feed widget. In my opinion, it looks really cool, and we've managed to customize it to really suit the branding on this website. And one last thing before I sign off from this video, just to note that the access token we created to connect Instagram onto our website was only valid for 60 days. But if you refresh that access token like I showed you before, it will make it valid for the next 60 days. So as long as you refresh that access token within the 60 days you have, you'll be alright. But if you forget and fail to refresh your access token, you'll have to create a new one and add it to your WordPress website, just like I showed you at the start of this video. And even though we were able to showcase our Instagram feed on our WordPress website in a beautiful and customized way, as I mentioned at the start of the video, there are other plugins that can help you add your Instagram feed onto your WordPress website, similar to this. One that I would recommend checking out is the Social Feed Gallery plugin. And this one lets you add an Instagram feed onto your WordPress website with some decent customization options as well. But again, I still prefer using UAE because of the in-depth customization options like we saw in this video, as well as the inclusion of so many other widgets that we can use. If you have any questions about anything I've covered in this video, make sure you leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. That's it for this tutorial. If you guys got value from this video, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe to our channel by clicking on our logo over here, and make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.